Welcome to Practice Day, friends. This is a true all levels class. I'm going to be teaching this primarily in a chair, so you're welcome to follow along if you love chair yoga, or you can do these postures on your mat, so it is floor yoga friendly as well. Just meet seated. For this practice, I love to use a block, and of course, if you are in a chair, use a chair. We're going to begin seated. And just comfortable. Let this be easy. We don't have to force this first part of practice. And so just allow yourself to land in a place that feels really good. So if you're seated, that might be just kind of relaxing back in your chair. If you're on your mat, maybe that's cross-legged or legs long. And if it feels good to close your eyes down, let them. This first kind of movement of waving comes in, the wave of your breath to be noticed a little bit more. And kind of this waving of noticing your body. And that's kind of what awareness is. It's a wave. It doesn't have to be on all of the time. Sometimes we feel very connected to ourselves. Other times we don't. And so ride the wave of this yoga practice for what it is right now. As you draw in deeper and slower breaths, maybe focusing on your exhales to start with. Can you empty every last bit of air out, feeling your diaphragm do the work for you? Instead of it feeling like it's all very nostril, very nasally, can it be down deep to belly, to back, to ribs, to diaphragm? And that way, naturally, the next breath in that you take becomes a little bit fuller, a little bit stronger. And it's just like the ocean. Every wave is different. Every breath is going to be different. So just ride the wave of it, noticing, feeling. If Ujjayi breaths in your practice, you can add a little tightening to the back of your throat here. Or just stay with the slow and mindful in and out. Even notice how the in and out changes the shape of your body. Inhales might pull you a little more out of your seat or more forward, and exhales kind of draw you back in a little bit slower. And we'll just stay here for 2 more rounds of breath. And if you are in a chair, begin to be more aware of your seat. I'm going to scoot forward for this. If you are on the ground, maybe you just change your posture a little bit. As we inhale, arms are going to take a big lift up to the sky. Reach up and out of your hip bones. Gaze might even come up. Let your breath flow naturally here. 1 more inhale together. And then exhale, let your hand just press down and away, reaching back to the earth. Breath in, take a full, big lift up. Exhale, press it down and away. 1 more time, lift up. And then hands interlace, take them to the back of your head, kind of towards your occiput. So not on your neck, not to the very top of your head, just right towards the center and a little bit lower. And then as you press your head back into your hands, open your shoulders. We're going to pull our heart space forward, get a nice back bend going. As you gaze up, tongue is to the roof of your mouth so you can breathe fully. Breathe all of the way out. Breath in, arms to the sky. Hands back down. We'll add that in. Inhale, lift. Exhale behind your head. Inhale, back up. And hands press. We'll do that 1 more time. Lift. Little back bend. Lift, inhale. And then enjoying a forward fold. So maybe if you're seated, you just go forearms to thighs or hands reach down to the floor. If you're on your mat, you could do this staff fold. You could do a butterfly fold. Anything that lets your spine round. And adding a little bit of pressure down to fingertips, really activating through each finger. Full breath in. And deep breath out. One more time, inhale. And slowly lift yourself back up. If you are on the floor, move into tabletop. If you're seated, just make sure that you have some space between your back and the back of the chair. We should start with cat and cows. If you're in the chair, hands can go to knees. As you breathe in, belly is going to pull down, head lifts up. As we exhale, cat rounding, spine reaches to the back of your chair, head drops low. Inhale, going into cow pose. Exhale, rounding into cat. And as always, I encourage you to move through this in a way that feels good. So if you're seated and you want to change your arms, sometimes cactus arms can feel good to move through your shoulders. We already warmed up our arms a little bit for this. So if you want to take arms behind your head, adding a similar movement, but this time adding your round as you exhale. We're here for 2 more full cycles of breath. And inhale, bring yourself back to center. We're set up for gate posture next. We're going to take our left leg extended. So in the chair, kind of just keep your right hip locked into the seat, right knee bent, left leg's going to reach out beside you. That could be toes pointed towards you, toes away, doesn't really matter as long as you have extension happening in the left leg. And then right hand to a block, to the ground, whatever works, is going to reach out beside you. And so if you're on the mat and tabletop, reach your left leg off to the ground. And so you're upright. Right hand can then come down to a block or to the floor as your left arm comes up and away. And so you can explore this here. And again, if you're on the mat, it's right knee down. We're moving from here. You can be a little bit taller than this, or you can sink low onto your hip, however works for you. Maybe even give your top arm a circle around. Explore fun movement in a way that feels good. One more deep breath before you pull yourself back to center. Take your block if you need it, and then over to the other side. So right leg extends from here, left hand down, and then you can explore reaching right hand and taking lots of movement and lots of full breaths. Give it one more round all the way through. Perfect. And then bring yourself back up to center. We're going to land in downward facing dog from here. So if you are on your mat, make your way. If you're using your chair, begin to stand up. Just move your chair around. So I have mine on the center. I'm going to pull it forward. You can use the back of your chair, the side. It doesn't really matter. This is just a place for you to land. I'm going to go hands to the seat and then feet back. And downward facing dog is about creating length, as much length as you can in your upper body, your arms and your legs. But it's also a little bit of an inversion, so your head is slightly down. And you can adjust that to varying degrees. That's the cool thing about having the chair. So if having your head down does not feel good, you can always meet like a halfway lift and then just work reaching your hips back. If you want to go further, you're welcome to drop your ears to biceps, or even take it like a dolphin pose, forearms down to your chair, and then beam it back. Legs can take a little walk as your breath is moving and exploring. Deep breath in, full breath out. One more time. As you exhale, empty into a forward fold. So if your hands are on your seat, keep them there as you step your feet. Halfway lift, your head's going to land higher than your heart space. Tailbone reaches back. One more time, inhale. Bend your knees, forward fold. Rise all the way up, extended mountain will lift. Exhale, hands release down beside you. Arms to the sky. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Rise up, extended mountain lift. Do that one more time, a half sun salutation A. Fold, release, halfway. Hold again. And rise all the way up to the sky. From here, your choice. If you want to flow through, you can, or land back, downward facing dog. Maybe a little sway through your hips, left and right. And then for this next section of practice, I'm going to give you two options. So seated in your chair or using the chair for support. Of course, you could do all of these things without your chair. So child's pose, option one here. If you're going to use the chair for support, you can bring your knees down, keep your hands high, and then just drop your heart space. Elbows can also come to the chair for a little bit more of a heart opener. If you prefer to land seated all the way for this, hips to the chair. You can keep your knees together or wide, and then just fold over. Hands can drop down, chin could go to chest. And it's just the feeling of letting your heart space be closer to your thighs. If you're on the mat, fully, maybe even reaching your fingertips out a little bit further in front of you so you have that full stretch from hips to fingertips. Give it 3 more breaths wherever you're landing. From here, we'll start to navigate right side low lunge. So it might just be good to sit up for a moment, let your head be lifted up away from your heart space. And if you were fully grounded into your chair, turn and face the right side of you. So that way just your right hip, right leg is fully supported in your chair. And your left leg beams back behind you. So you are in a lunge in this sense. Your back knee can be as bent or as straight as needed. And you can use the back of your chair or the ground anywhere for support as needed. If you're using the chair for support, hands to it. And you're holding yourself up with your legs. The arms are just here for balance support. And of course, there can be some weight in the hands, primarily into the legs. And then varying degrees of this as well, you could always drop your back knee and go to forearms if that works for you in your practice, even gazing over your right shoulder. If you were choosing to be fully seated into your chair, right hand can hug the back of your chair as your left arm comes up and takes a big sweep up and over. And as you're exploring lunge on your right side, you're going to feel it mainly in your left hip. And so all these options to explore what works and what feels good for you. We're going to take about 4 breaths. Let this be easy on you. Don't force it to be challenging. Find the right amount of ease. You start to find this final breath, your choice to transition back to down dog or child's pose. So take a few clearing breaths. And then make your way to left side low lunge. So again, if you're using the chair for support, your left knee comes forward, your right leg is back. You can have varying degrees here. If you're choosing to be seated, you will turn to the left side of your chair. Just your left leg is supported as you reach your right leg back. And exploring movement in a way that feels good here. Of course, this can always be done just on the ground. If you want to take your hands to the floor or forearms to the floor, that works too. And the same effort and the right amount of energy used in the posture. It's like brahmacharya and the yamas and niyamas. And using just the right amount of energy. We'll take a few more breaths here together. And again, your choice of transition, down dog or child's pose. Deep breath in together. Full sigh out. Last one. Empty all the way, and then we'll slowly start the transition back to mountain pose. You can take a forward fold, take your time. Eventually, it's a halfway lift. From there, we'll bend our knees, press through feet, rise all the way up. And hands can sweep down and away from you. Setting up for balance posture. We're doing tree pose today. So of course, tree, you can do it on a wall. You can find any way that feels good for you. We'll go right foot down, left leg up. If you have a chair and you want to use it, or you're like, how could I use a chair for tree pose? I like to just start and just feel. So if I'm taking a hand to the chair and behind it, sometimes we just need a little bit of support. We just need our knee to touch something so that we don't feel like we're going to fall over. You could take your back, your hips, your thighs, anywhere to the chair that works for you. But one of my favorite ways to explore tree pose is, move my chair around so you can see, is the knee that's bent and up. So for me, it's left side. I'm taking my shin to the chair, just the edge of it. Then I can explore that. I can press my shin into the chair even, and I'm kind of floating my heel, my foot to my right leg. This is gonna add a little bit of strength. It's kind of that resistance, that push and pull that you can find. Arms can move anywhere. And let the wave just kind of flow through you. So that same kind of ocean feeling. Balance is like that. We have to ride the wave of balance because it might fall in, it might fall out. Using our breath to stay grounded. Pressing the weight into your heel, let it rise you taller. One more time, inhale. And then shake it out, exhale. And then find your way to the other side. Left foot down, right leg up. Any way of tree that you want to practice. With or without the chair, maybe with the wall. And just ride out this wave, how this side feels. Anchoring through your left heel, rising up a little bit taller through your spine. Give it 2 breaths. And then release down. Perfect. Extended mountain, rising again, tall spine. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift. If you would like to flow through, you are welcome to chaturanga, all the way through your sun A. Press it back, downward facing dog. Eventually, we will land seated from here. I'm going to start with this just in the chair, but if you want to use the ground, let yourself plant on the earth. Take your knees wide into your chair. Toes are going to point out for this. You could even take your legs straight. For me, this doesn't feel good for my inner thighs. I feel like the chair kind of impinges. So I'm just going to land here, and you're going to take a forward fold. You might go elbows to thighs. You might go hands down, maybe hands to a block. It's a variation of wide V or just a straddle fold. If you would like to do this on the ground, you can always use a chair. You don't have to. Use any support that you want. But as your feet go wide, you can rest yourself towards your chair. Maybe you go forehead down. Maybe you kind of support yourself more fully onto the seat if you need to. Maybe even see about flexing your feet if you are on the ground. I love using the chair for this posture. It makes it feel a little more supportive, a little more restorative. But you could always challenge yourself. You could even take the chair out a little bit more in front of you and reach towards it like child's pose arms. Regardless, riding the wave of your breath in and out. Give yourself one more full round of breath. And then you can slowly unwind, and feet can come back together where you can shake it out to move your legs any ways that feel good. And so set up for a twist. As always, doing this seated if that feels good, or you can lay down for supine twists. However your legs are in your chair or on the ground. We're gonna take a twist to the right. So knees can fall to the left if you're laying down, or if you're upright, start to move your shoulders to the right side. Right hand could hook behind you, left hand could tap in towards your right knee. Maybe gazing behind you with a really tall spine, but not forcing this. We're not using force. We're trying to make this posture as easy as possible for ourselves without too much strain. Just the right amount of energy. Give it 2 more of your own breaths. And slowly coming back through center, you'll just take it over to the other side. Soft and slow. And one more breath. And then coming back through center. Last posture is fish pose, however you like to practice. Maybe block under shoulders as you lay down. Maybe it's an active fish. If you don't have a block and you're like, I need something else, you could take bridge or wheel pose even. One of my favorite versions of fish is with a chair. So you want to ideally have a chair that's about shoulder height when you lean back toward it. So for me, this chair hits perfectly right at shoulders. And then ideally you have the chair on your mat all the way, so that way you don't slide back. There we go, a little adjustment. I'm going to meet this with crossed legs, but you can have legs long or butterfly. And so you're just sitting upright first. You want the chair to meet you, not you lean back to meet the chair. Getting yourself settled in. Start to let your body go over the seat. So we are arching our back behind us. Hands can support the head as we let our heart space land open. Arms can move anywhere that feels good, but just enjoying this last moment of full openness and full expansiveness. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you need to, or as long as you want to. There's no rush to how you choose to end your practice, and no right or wrong way to end your practice either. If you need something else, take it. And Savasana is however you would like to land. If that's in your chair seated, just laying down flat, or if you want to use your chair, I love a good propped up foot for Savasana. Nice and restorative in itself. This also helps you let your lower back have a little more give. So sometimes if you lay completely flat, maybe sometimes our lower back feels a little impinged, but this is just nice, full reset. You can let your palms open up beside you. Maybe even rest hand on heart and belly and just continue to feel the wave of breath. As you let your eyes close down and you honor yourself and your needs in this moment, stay in rest for as long as you need to, for as long as you want to. I thank you for enjoying and moving this practice with me today. Namaste.